You wide awake?
I'm wide awake.
Right. Glad to have you here, Chef Michael Shannon from Montgomery Grill in Portsmouth, making a delicious blackened tuna Asian salad that can be served 2 ways. A healthy meal and perfect for spring.
It is.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's talk about our ingredients first, and then I imagine we're going to start with way number 1 for our tuna, right?
Right.
So what you got here in front of us?
Just basically, whenever you do a salad, you can put whatever you want into it. There's no rhyme or reason, no rules. As long as you have a good protein and a good balance of everything else.
Okay. Although I like your mix of ingredients already. You haven't done a thing other than set it all out, and it smells great together. So what are some of the liquids here? And then I see mandarin oranges and tomatoes.
We're going to go ahead and do the dressing so it can set for a little while. And so the thing we're doing is you can use regular sugar or brown sugar, and you want to add your vinegar.
What's the difference between the regular and the brown? Like what kind of result will it give you?
The brown sugar will give you more of a maple, more of a deeper sweet.
A deeper sweet.
You want your sugar, not so much.
No. What was that?
Rice wine vinegar. You want your sugar to dissolve a little bit.
Here, I do that. And you talk more about what we're putting in here. It has to dissolve completely?
We'll start to dissolve. The acid from the vinegar will break the sugars down. We'll start adding in our spices.
All right.
We have just a standard onion powder, ginger, garlic,
good.
And then sesame seeds.
Oh, for a crunch. And this is what's coating? Is that what's coating?
No, this is actually the dressing for the salad.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, the dressing for the salad. That's right.
Putting in half teriyaki and half sesame sauce.
Okay, keep stirring.
Keep stirring.
All right. Very busy. A really great flavor. I mean, this is something that seems like you would buy in a bottle at the store, but something you could truly make yourself, have a lot more of, and
and last for days.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finish it off with sesame oil.
Am I doing anything special here with the stirring, or just keep
going?
Moving
it.
Can you make this ahead of time? You said you could save it, put it in the fridge. How long do you think it lasts?
5 days.
5 days. Okay. Very, very good. And you've got some nice tuna steak chunks there.
Yes. We're going to start with that next.
Okay. So this dressing, does it have to be refrigerated before you can actually serve it, or is it good to go right away?
I put it right in the fridge.
Okay. So at least a minimum of how long would you put it in there?
An hour.
So how are you doing?
Doing well. Yeah. Doing real well.
Saw you last month. Anything good going on at the restaurant you want to share with us?
We're testing out new menu items. We're going to be launching off here very soon. Trying to go for the more healthy side, more female friendly. our menu is very, very manly.
Well, your menu is very, from what I remember, a lot of comfort food.
It is.
And that's good. So, I mean, will those comfort items still be on the menu while you bring in other things?
Absolutely. We're focusing on like a fresh catch of the day, doing more salads, because if you look at our menu, we have all ribs and chicken, and just very.
It's a great one.
So we want to have something more aligned for the springtime, healthier.
Right.
It's beach weather coming up.
So as far as a female-friendly menu, what does that mean?
More salads, more. Ladies don't like to eat off a bone. They like to,
as well. Right. You wanted something more dainty.
Right.
Yes. Something a little bit more dainty. Something like this salad that you have for us today. Okay. So this looks like it may be done. Would you then stick it in the fridge? Okay. Let's go do that. And then the next part of our meal, what's next, Michael?
We're going to blacken the tuna.
Should we start that here? I think we've got a little bit of time where we can start that process. So this is a new item on your menu then, it sounds like. Okay. Are you going to be coating that tuna in anything?
A little blackening spice.
What's that?
It's a mixture of like paprika, cayenne pepper, oregano, sage. Just
some great ingredients for sure. You coat it both sides?
Coat it both sides kind of heavily.
Okay. High heat. What kind of oil do you have in there?
A little olive oil.
Very good. Well, we'll coat on that. We're going to let you put that in the pan and work on the other ways you're going to prepare this tuna coming up in our next cooking segment. Chef, thanks very much.
Thank you.
In the kitchen with Chef Michael Shannon from the Montgomery Grill in Portsmouth, making a very yummy blackened tuna Asian salad that can be served 2 ways. And while we were talking with Amy earlier, all these smells came wafting through the kitchen. You already worked on the tuna, so the blackened part, remember we showed you that in the last cooking segment. You browned it both sides in the pan, stuck it in the fridge.
So it can sit up.
Okay, so that's part of the step.
Right.
Like that's definitely, you have to put it in the fridge?
I would definitely put it in the fridge.
You would do that. How long? Minimum?
Half hour or so. What I want to do now is, this is a good point for us to go back to our dressing for a second.
That's been sitting in the fridge again.
I put a little green onion in, but now it's time to taste it, make sure we adjust the seasoning.
Right. That's an important part, because it's kind of an exact thing, right? Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
So we'll put this back in.
It's got a bit of a kick.
That's what we're looking for.
If there are guests who maybe don't want so much of a kick, how would you lessen
More
that?
sugar.
Okay, more sugar. It's very, very good, but it does have a bit of a kick. And, you know, for some folks, you know, Carrie.
For one of two salads, we're going to go ahead and do a standard salad. And you're using your salad greens.
That's a nice mix. That's a really good flavor, Michael. Really, just the spices all working together kind of stays with you a little bit in a good way. In a good way.
It does. We have some green onion.
Very healthy meal.
It's very healthy and it's very filling.
Now the filling part may be surprising to some folks, to be honest, because it's just salad greens, but of course you've got the tuna there that you'll be putting in for your protein. I imagine you're going to slice that up and put that on top?
Exactly.
Okay. So this is our salad one way. Oh, you've got the red peppers, of course.
I have some asparagus, some red pepper.
And this is raw asparagus?
Raw asparagus. We're going to put some fresh pear.
Pear. That's a nice touch.
Always do a little bit of a mixture with your vegetable and your fruits.
Some good tips. Now you were saying earlier that, of course for a salad, you can, anything, but what other things could you suggest for other folks who maybe don't like asparagus, for example, and they want...
Squash, zucchini, snap peas, snow peas, green beans.
And the mandarin oranges. That will ensure my children will eat it. So that's good. And so this is the one way.
This is the one way.
How will we do the second one? And what are these for?
A little garnish on top. Those are fried wontons.
Antonio, thank you very much. And of course, this was the seasoning that you used on the blackened tuna, right?
Correct.
Okay. Did you give it enough time? I know this is TV. You just got to do what you got to do, but it's good enough. It's a little warm here.
The longer it sits, the better it will be. It will definitely be.
Okay. So the longer, the better. You're going to slice that up. We're going to put that on top of salad number one, and then we're working on our second way we're going to use this tuna, and it involves this wrap. We're going to do that coming up in our next cooking segment. Michael. I'm working on my knife skills with Chef Michael Shannon from the Montgomery Grill in Portsmouth, and this is how you make this really neat garnish right here. We got the spring onion. I cut off the ends, and I take my knife and run down and slice it through. This may be basic for some folks, but this is a big deal for me.
You're doing great.
Thank you. It doesn't look like yours, but anyway, I'll work on that. I'll work on that. You've already finished up salad number one, and that really looks pretty amazing, this tower of treats. You've got the tuna here, and then the wontons on top. It's a little bit pink as far as the tuna goes.
You should always serve a tuna about medium rare.
So that's what you want, of course.
That's right.
But black on both sides. How do you know, or how do you make sure that you don't cook it too much?
You can always, by feeling it, if you can always cut it open a little bit and see how your color is.
Okay, very good. So that's all done, right? Completely finished?
Just the dressing is a final touch.
All right, so that'll go on top. We'll do that at the end. And then we have the second way we're going to use this tuna.
Right.
And the dressing will be part of this one as well?
Correct.
Very good.
Just put a little bit of your salad mix down.
Okay.
A couple pieces of your tuna, kind of like layering it in a little bit.
Like a taco.
Like a taco.
This is a taco. What kind of tortilla do you have here?
This is a garlic herb.
Well, that sounds delicious. Where do you get those?
Food line, in the grocery store.
Okay.
And just putting in whatever you want to put in, flavor-wise.
Right. We talked about these. I asked you earlier about the asparagus. I didn't realize that eating them raw was common. I've never done that before. Always cook them personally, but I mean they're pretty good, obviously, and you know they're good for you as well. You've got the mandarin oranges and the asparagus, and then basically all the things you have here on the plate you have in your tortilla.
Right.
But it's a neat presentation.
And you take your salad dressing. And just right over the entire.
Cool.
It's like rolling a burrito.
How do you do that without it breaking? We're going to watch you.
Just like that.
Very nice. And then eating it, like, do you cut it in half and then, oh, right there. Very good. This is off your new menu coming up over at Montgomery Grill. When does your new menu come out?
In the next couple of weeks. We haven't finalized the exact date yet, but it's coming, so be prepared.
Right. So what kinds of things can people expect? I mean, for example, when I think of Montgomery Grill, I think of your great macaroni and cheese. That will still be on there.
All of our standards, all of our staples will still remain there. We're just adding more lighter fare, more healthier.
Right. Like another section right there
Pretty
on your
much.
menu in the next couple of weeks. And this is something that you can find on there. Of course, we're going to put these ingredients and the how-tos online at thehamptonroadshow.com. We've got a couple of pretty big events coming up. Spring break, for example, coming up next week. Easter, Mother's Day coming up. So you've got some big events.
Make your reservations now for your Easter brunch and Mother's Day brunch.
Right.
They're going to go fast.
Right. Brunches, what are they like at Montgomery?
Oh, they're amazing. They're just, you know, it's just a mountain of food, good time.
Yeah. Well, give us a taste of what folks can expect if they do come out there. Maybe they're not planning a trip to Portsmouth, but may decide to do so for a wonderful brunch like yours.
Your standards, your bacon, sausage, eggs, French toast, waffle station, carving station. We're carving prime rib and ham. Going to do chicken coq au vin. Have a mild assortment of, you know, desserts, pastries.
Right, and you said it, reservations really an important thing to do, especially for those key events in the next few weekends. Michael Shannon, thanks very much. Montgomery Grill in Old Town Portsmouth. Thanks for bringing these meals to us. We're going to split it up and share it with our folks here and with our live studio audience.